Hey, cats, what's good? Tonight we're going to touch on some local politics in a couple states here. We're going to touch on some unicorn utopia, business as usual, flat out corruption, and on a lighter note, some science news that would have been called a conspiracy theory just recently. All right, but you know the deal. You want to hit? Here you go.
Well, look, my wife has a rule in her family. When somebody's birthday, you sing happy birthday. You ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Violet. Dear Violet. Dear Violet. Dear Violet.
Hey, savages, thanks for coming. Welcome in. Like I said, tonight we're going to touch off on a couple of local politics in a few states here. We'll start off with one close to me. As a lot of you are well aware, we have our first incoming ever Democrat governor of the state of Arizona, right? And she's just as basket as you would think she is. Besides coming in a battle in and out of court with Kari Lake, she's also coming in with a fistful of Cloward Piven spending proposals, right? Multi-billion. But she's also walking into her first legislative session shortly, and the proposals being put forth, being described by her staff as exciting, is just as asinine as you'd think. And we're talking pronouns versus sex in government schools, university free speech zones, municipalities being able to tax foodstuffs. The outgoing governor, old Ducey, lowered the tax rate for the state here before he left. And the incoming one apparently is going to offset that by letting your city tax the shit out of your food, right? And one of the last ones is residential picketing. So you'll see a pattern there with the free speech zones and residential picketing. As you know, business as usual with the Democrats. It's proposals and the hopeful vote to remove or curtail your rights. Right? Fuck free speech, freedom of expression, the right to protest your government, right? It's rude, right? It's offensive. But, the Californication of Arizona is just about complete. I don't see any ability of the Republicans here to stop her. I mean, we got some Democrat senators as well. And, I hope that the rest of the state arm here can hold her off, because while they're saying, her budget proposal, for instance, is dead on arrival, we know they like to cuck. Okay, but moving on here, the unicorn utopia spoke of. San Francisco apparently has a reparations committee, and they've come up with a loony-ass proposal of giving all longtime resident Blixes $5 million apiece, also complete debt forgiveness, and a supplemental income for another 250 years, right? And the most asinine part of the whole thing, the most spectacle, is the fact that you want to tax people that have never owned slaves to pay people that were never slaves in a state that never allowed slavery. Beyond gymnastics at this point, it's out and out, nincompoopery and flat out theft or proposal of. You know what I mean? For real lizards, all wise. And so moving on, Chicago, which we know is a great place for politics. There's currently several Democrat either in or recently released from prison sentences. So it's absolute corruption and business as usual. The city currently being run by old Lightfoot Beetle Golem, and she's recently been caught up in a pretty greasy scandal her using her sway over the Democrat sway, rather, over the teachers union, and vice versa, of course, but in this instance, to recruit slave labor, right? To get the students of the Chicago public school system there, high school students, mind you, to be an unpaid street team for her reelection campaign, right? For extra credit, and of course, the obvious, the brainwashing of the next generation to make them believe that they're cool, this is cool, and this is how you do things. Just absolute, lizard toad. I don't even know what else to say. And then when it's pressed on it and asked, the press bring it up, she does the stereotypical reaction of it and proceeds to lash out at the press and then say that was a mistake and then refuse to comment anymore and or take any more questions. So while it's absolute grease and, gross, it's also, you got to admire the way Democrats roll. I mean, that was a mistake. That's it. Kind of like cringe, with Biden, in the classified papers. It's just, well, he said he didn't know. When he said he was surprised. To his surprise. So that's supposed to be it. That's a wrap. You take their word and you move on. Shut up. Don't ask questions. Like, this is America's, man. It's not supposed to be like this. And until we all stand up and smack some toads, it's going to continue this route. All right, but moving on a much lighter note here, some science news that up until recently would have been called absolute conspiracy theory, along with HAARP, the weather modification system, which again, enough coverage now, we know that that's not, a conspiracy either. It's real, okay? But, in Switzerland, there's a Santis Mountain. A team of researchers there built a high-powered infrared laser and attached it to a telecom, tower that had a massive lightning rod, which is pretty average. It's, to direct the lightning into the ground, rather into the equipment or, surrounding buildings, yada, yada. But what's being called the first public demo, they showed that by firing a series of the laser, which you'll be able to see here in this photo, the dots is where the laser was firing. You can see, the lightning doing some really amazing, odd things there. They were able to direct the lightning exactly to where they wanted it. And of course, the word on it is, this will only be used for protection, lightning protection. But usually when these things come out to the public, it's you're years behind. This has already been in use, through private demos, I guess you'd say, for quite some time before you get to see it. But you know the deal, man. You guys tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me to fuck off in the comments. Smell you later.
My friends be like, how come you not famous yet? I be like, you didn't share my shit. How come you ain't shared it yet? That's what I don't understand.